just got to stay in the ballpark.
And I understand. It's one of those things that if you're not used to doing it, which I wasn't either, I had to learn.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I don't know, everybody listens to podcasts these days, but it's a matter of getting used to, distance, how far away you are from the mic, and am I sitting right in the chair, and like we can see ourselves here.
Yeah, that's what I like. That's cool to me.
It's cool. It took me some getting used to.
Yeah.
I wasn't a super big fan of watching myself. Of course, I still don't like the sound of my own voice either.
Yeah, I've had people who are like, dude, your voice, like, you sound like a radio guy. And
you have a radio voice.
I'm like, I hear a dumb redneck.
Yeah. Well, that's how I always feel. I'm like, I got, this is episode, what is this going to be, 185? And
this is your episode 185?
Yeah. And I listen to every one of them, and I go, man, who is that redneck hosting this show, and is that really, I'm on the tail end of some crud right now because every season is allergy season in Georgia.
Oh, Lord,
so
dude.
I've got this, like,
hey, man.
deep radio voice thing happening myself today. But
hey, good. Start sound like Sam Elliott, man.
Yeah, right.
Show me the tit on an almond.
Oh, man. So we missed some cool stuff in the last 2 minutes before we get go on this thing. But we had talked about how you had a podcast.
Yep.
And some of the stuff that you were into now, life's changed a little bit for you. And
life has changed a lot, yeah.
So I did your show, which was called the Holderfield Happy Hour.
Yep. Every hour's happy hour, baby.
It's been over a year ago now.
Yeah, it's been. So my son is a year. He's, let's see, he was born February 8th last year. So he's getting close to a year and a half.
So it's been longer than that then.
Way
since
longer.
I was on.
I think the last time you were on, the last episode I did, Sandra was maybe either 2 weeks to a month out from her due date.
Yeah, she was pretty close because she was there and she was miserable.
Yeah, she was looking like me right now. I still haven't got my baby out.
But she, I remember she was there. You hadn't had a baby, so it's been longer than I thought.
Yeah, I know you're a father, so you know this, but before I became a dad, I thought time flew by.
Oh, yeah.
Brother.
Dude, the longest, year of my life was the 9 months that my wife was pregnant.
Oh, well,
you know what I mean? Like
it was so fast until the end. Because at the beginning, I was nothing but fearful.
Yeah.
I talked about it on my podcast. I talked about it to friends.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to know, how do you feel you're about to be a dad? How do you
nervous?
feel?
Are you excited?
And I was like, I am very excited, but I am more scared than I've ever been of anything else in my life.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
Now I'm even more scared of the actual birthing process because we did not have a fun birthing process. She almost died.
Yeah.
That was I think that's the first time I've ever felt what I would call true trauma in my life. Dude, I still deal with it sometimes. And every time she mentions, hey, are we going to have another one? I immediately just kind of like, yeah, dude, the weather's great.
Yeah, right.
The weather's great outside.
I'm going to play golf now.
Yeah, change the subject, and she'll be like, no, like, seriously. Like, and I do want more. Like, I would love more. I would love to have a little girl, little boy, be done. Like, he already came first, have a little girl next. Obviously, God has lots of plans. I've had a buddy before who said, I only want 2 kids, and then they had twins on their second run. So that's, that's how
surprise.
God can do it to you. So
yeah, he'll do what he wants.
100%.
And then he'll laugh at you while you squirm. And
while you're sitting there figuring out, like, okay, so what do I need to sell? What hobbies are gone?
Right, yeah.
Golf was so much fun. Now I can play it on my PlayStation, so that's good.
Yeah, we got the Wii or whatever. We still doing Wii golf.
Oh, my God. My brother's, his wife got him this thing from Sam's Club, I think, one time, and it was like you just stretch it out, and it had like a sensor in it, and it had like the setup was it made like a little click noise, like you were swinging. As you swung down, it clicked. And it was like a virtual golf thing in your house. Because if you try to get your own setup, dude, I have a buddy who has one, and it cost him like $7-8 grand.
Oh, it's crazy. Yeah, which we're gonna get one and put it right over there.
Hey, absolutely. So I heard he's paying for it, right?
Yeah, he's putting the bill.
He's paying for it, but you're playing on it.
I have an Oculus I can throw you in, and you can go play at Augusta all day.
Go play some VR chat golf.
Just as good. That's just as good.
That's a lot better.
Why have we not? Have we done the Oculus before? I thought we had. We talked about it.
Started, and you're like, we'll do it. Didn't get to it yet.
Yeah, I don't remember I remember talking about it. I think Preston was here.
If you've never been on a virtual reality helmet, it will throw you off. It's the first time you go on it. It throws me off every time.
Just like disorienting.
Yeah, because I mean, there's this one game, and for some reason, most people throw you into this on your first run, but you have to walk across a plank over like 50-story building.
No thanks, I'm out.
It's even better now because you can do with the threes. You can do augmented reality, so you see physically the room you're in.
It's way worse. And the time I did it, I was walking across, and I was like, "Guys, I know this is fake." And then a spider jumped out at me, and I fell. I literally fell face first into a couch because I was like, because it literally in your head, in your mind, this is not real.
Yeah.
But you start looking around, and you're like, "Oh, this feels extra real."
Oh yeah, it does. Or the Five Nights at Freddy's, which is another horror game.
Oh my yes.
Is that the alien zombie? Which one? I don't know.
No, that's the Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, the animatronics. And the dude that played Shaggy in the old live action Scooby-Doo years ago.
Matthew Lillard.
He's the killer on one of the animatronics. In the game, it's I don't play those games. So I know a lot about video games, not about those.
Yeah.
So Oculus is great, but I'm a fan of just holding a controller and having to go.
So you do console, you don't do the.
I used to try to stream actually before I did podcasting, and I loved it. And I've built my first PC. A buddy of mine bought it for me. It was like a $500 pre-built, wasn't nothing special. And then the next 3 that I had, it might have been just 2 I built myself. Super cool. Buddy of mine helped me build it. It's not near as hard as people think.
Yeah.
Because everybody wants to plug and play, so they go buy a pre-built. But realistically, it's still plug and play because you're not soldering. You're not having to program anything. You just click a few things in, which the CPU is scary because it's got thousands of little gold, like brass pins on it. If one pin, we're talking microscopic little pins, bends a tiny fraction, the whole thing's ruined. We're talking CPUs can be up to like $500-$600.
Yeah, I'm out.
So it's.
But if you're gonna have that computer that you want, you might as well build it and get exactly what you want.
Yeah, it's that's why I'm not into pre-builts, because it's a waste of money. It's like buying a car off a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As soon as you drive it off, you're losing money. Plus, you sunk more into it than you'll ever see out of it. A pre-built's the same way, but also they oversell everything because they know, hey, I built it. I can slap a sticker on it at Walmart and say it's got these great specs, but they're terrible, and they'll sell it for $800 more than what it's worth.
Yeah.
Which I can't say much because every one I've built, I've sold it for $400 or $500 more than what it's worth, and I've got because I put the labor into it. I built it.
It's worth what somebody will pay for it,
and they have. And I'm an honest person. People's asked me, "Would you build it for?" And I'm like, that's classified, but I built it. It's cost money.
Business.
It costs more than $100. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Now I've never done any PC gaming, but I was thinking the other day, I've got arthritis in my thumb and here in my wrist a little bit, and some in this hand, but it's not nearly as bad. And I was talking to some people the other day, and we've played games. I'm not like super into it anymore, but I still play some. Yeah. We've been playing games since Pong.
That's like the OG. And Tetris.
Right? So OG. Now I've got arthritis in my thumb, my wrist, and I can't help but think it might be related. I've been playing video games for 40 years now.
That's what I say about my diabetes, high blood pressure. I'm like, it's all because of the video games, man.
Is that?
Has nothing to do with my eating habits or the fact that I love eating and cooking food.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's true. Like, sometimes you're just sitting there wearing out the thumbsticks and stuff, and like your hand, like when I first started PC gaming, you go from this to holding, and there's some people who'll turn their keyboard completely sideways and be like this.
Oh yeah, hitting them keystrokes.
I kept mine very like a little catty cornered, but I would sit there, and after the first couple days of playing for the very first time, you can feel those muscles right here that are working all your fingers and your hands. So you're like moving your wrist and you move your arm. But it's worth it.
It's a sad state of
affairs. If you have the time to PC game, it's always going to win. But I love console. It's just
I can always tell. I play Fortnite, and that's cross console. Yeah. You can play from Xbox or PC or anywhere. I play on PlayStation, and I can tell. I can see another player, and I know that he's on PC. He's just different.
Oh, they're always better.
Yeah,
that's why aim assist exists.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm in the bush, and I'm just waiting on him to do his thing and hoping he doesn't know that I'm there. Dude, I'm not trying to go head up with the dude because I don't play as much as these guys, and I will just get murked.
Yeah, there's nothing more OG than bush camping on Fortnite.
I mean
that or playing Mario Kart Racing or something.
We were doing that earlier today, me and Junebug.
Dude,
Mario Kart.
Which Mario Kart? Is it the newest one? Mario Kart World that people are losing their mind about?
It's not the newest one. It's not even the next to newest one. It's way back. I couldn't tell you. This game might be 10 years old.
My favorite, when it comes to gaming, my favorite era is either the N64 or the GameCube. 64
came out, was it today? Maybe yesterday? 28 years ago.
Yep.
I had no idea.
That's
we had
insane.
one. Me and Andy, my old roommate, had one. You got one upstairs. Might get the same one.
What year did it come out? It wasn't 96.
28 years would be, what, 97?
Oh, it would be 97 because I turned 29. That's right. So I think Ocarina of Time, which is the highest rated game to this day on Metacritic, which is like a very important, it's kind of like Rotten Tomatoes for video games. It's got a 99. My favorite game of all time.
What's it called?
It's called Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time.
Oh, okay. It's the OG 3D Legend of Zelda.
It was the game that, kind of like how Mario is a platformer, like revolutionized gaming, Tetris revolutionized gaming, Zelda, like Ocarina of Time revolutionized gaming. It was one of the first, like, dang near perfect 3D games made for its time, and it still holds up. Like I've played it recently on a PC, because also on a PC you can emulate all the consoles you can think of. So instead of being like, unless you're a collector, which I understand, because it's cool to see retro collectors. I love it. Right. I can't do it because I'm going to want to open everything and just play it. So I can't be a collector. But instead of just spending thousands upon thousands finding, because there's like right now on this thing called DK Oldies, it's a website. You can buy the same Ocarina of Time that cost $10 or $15 back in the day for $230. And it's not sealed.
Yeah. I got 2 copies of Ocarina of Time, a gold copy of Majora's Mask.
Oh, brother, Majora's, the last one I saw was like over $300.
I'm just going to sit this one out and let you dorks talk about it.
Hey, dude.
I'm lost.
If you get me stuff on gaming, that's all I'll talk about.
I played the original Legend of Zelda, the gold cartridge on NES.
Yep. Love that game.
1991, whatever it was. Me and my brother stayed up for 72 hours. We took turns playing until we beat it.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
I love video games. I do. It's a big part of my life, and I can't wait for my son to be old enough. He has a little fake controller that I originally bought for him because I wanted him to sit beside me and feel like he's playing. He only likes holding the real deal. So I have a pro controller for my PlayStation.
Yeah.
And I have a regular one, and he beats the crap. He's already broke one of my headsets, so I had to buy a new one, and it was an expensive headset he broke, and he didn't mean to. But
well, that's what my 5-year-old went for that for a while. He's starting to play some now. But I used to be able to hand him a controller and be like, yeah, buddy, you're helping or whatever. My 3-year-old, he has known. I've never been able to fool him. He's like, yeah, this is not, I'm not shooting right now or whatever. This ain't me. Give me the real one. Okay.
Yeah, it's he's luckily young enough to, sometimes he kind of, it feels like he's figured it out. And I'm like, that's not good. Like, we're in trouble.
Yeah. Man, I didn't know what we were going to talk about. I really didn't think we would delve into gaming, but
dude, I'm
no rules here. Whatever.
I was about to say, I feel like with me, I can talk about, you just name it, and I can start spatting something out.
Well, let's go back into podcasting a little bit. I need to know. So, you kind of got into it a little bit. You had a podcast, and I thought it was fantastic, and I thought you were a tremendous talent.
I appreciate it.
And you had to get out of it. You got out of it for whatever reason. What happened there?
So, first and foremost, I loved podcasting. Mm-hmm. I was doing I had the worst setup on the planet for doing mobile, but I was trying to kind of go mobile a little bit with it, because some people, I mean, you know this, they're very hard to get here.
Yeah.
Wherever here is, it's so hard to get someone to meet you here, because they have their own lives, they got their own priorities, and at the end of the day, some people are just like, I don't care, so I'm not going to go out of my way.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just how it is, and so I would be like, you know what? Let me eliminate that problem right now. And I never said, do you want to come here? I would say, where do you want me to meet you at? And they'd say, we can just go to your house. And I'd say, okay. Or if they said, like with you, oh, well, I had this place on Broad. All right, I showed up. I had this place here. I showed up. I had this place here. And so I just, the thing that got me into podcasting was, I've always wanted to be a content creator of some sort. I've just enjoyed it. I love watching other people. And it's not because I want to be rich or famous. It's because I just love being super goofy and quirky and doing just dumb stuff.
It's so much fun.
It's so much fun. And it is a new trend nowadays. I mean, that's kids now are going to grow up saying, I want to be a YouTuber. I want to be a gamer. I want to be and gaming to us and YouTube to us growing up was like you got a lot of information on YouTube where you watch really stupid song parodies. Yeah. Now it's like people make millions, and I'm like, you're so lucky.
Well, you can learn astrophysics on YouTube now.
Oh, yeah. You can rebuild a whole engine.
Yeah.
How do I rebuild this Toyota? And you're like, okay, this will take me a few years, but I'll do it.
Yeah.
But so it was going great. I was seeing some numbers going up. I started having these good connections. Like we were supposed to go meet Mick Foley and Nikita Koloff and all these cool guys. And it was going somewhere because the thing that people kept telling me that convinced me to try podcasting was that I have a big network. I know a lot of people. Yeah. Everybody I meet, I try to do as much as I can to be like buddies with that guy. I don't want to just be acquaintances. I want to know you to an extent to where if I need to call upon you or you got to call upon me, it'll work.
Yeah.
And so it didn't work out, but it was right before Sandra had Barkley and I was like, and she kept telling me, like, if you want to keep streaming, because I also started streaming around this time, and she said, which one do you think you want to do more? And I was like, well, it's hard because I love gaming and I love people. Mm-hmm. And I can honestly use both of those things in both categories. Podcasting, you can do like what we're doing now, talking about gaming, hanging out, being guys. But then gaming, I can still interact with people and be in the comfort of my home. I don't have to leave. I can sit there and do what I love doing, which is just gaming my rear end off. And I love gaming. I'm always going to be that way. And eventually she was like, I want you to, and this is why I love my wife. Shout out to my wife. Sandra's amazing. And she just basically said, it's up to you solely. If you want to get rid of, she's like, at the end of the day, I say sell one or the other. That way you can put money more into that one and go full on.
Right.
And it ended up becoming gaming just because I started thinking if Barkley's about to be here and it's already getting hard to go to these places and make my podcast mobile as I want to be because he's about to be here and she's getting to a point where she's not feeling well. She's the most uncomfortable she's going to be.
Yeah.
And then I waited until after he got here to make the decision. And then once, like I said, what we experienced in the hospital kind of traumatized the heck out of me. And I didn't even want to walk out of the house without her being with me. So I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna stream. And streaming did go good for a little bit, and then it kind of fell off because that's just, I mean, dude, everyone, it's an oversaturated market. So our podcast is oversaturated. Yeah. Everybody wants to be a podcaster or anything of a content creator. So you got to have that niche, and then you got to find what works for you, and then just milk it until it runs dry, and then find something else. And so it was hard, but I miss it. I do. I miss it so much.
It's so much fun. I love it.
It is.
It was kind of that way for me. Sort of. I don't know. Podcasting is what I chose over. Like I don't play golf anymore.
Yeah.
I haven't hunted in the last couple of years. I'm gonna try to do some this year just because I enjoy doing that too. But
yeah,
we get into these hobbies that are just such a time suck. Like golf. If you're going to play 18, man, you're going to be out there 6 hours, you know.
I'm telling you now.
But if you're hunting, you're in the woods all day.
I'm not a hunter. My father-in-law was before he passed, but I'm not a hunter.
Yeah.
Never have been. So, but yeah, like you said, golf. I mean, dude, 18 holes of golf. Everyone says, oh, it should take 4. Go ahead and push about 5 to 6. And you'll be all right. Yeah, you'll be.
Especially depending on who you're playing with and how many beers might or might not be in the cart. You know?
I've never really been one to drink and play golf, kind of like how you don't drink and drive.
Yeah,
but,
I'm not. I mean, it only makes me worse. I'm bad enough without it.
It makes me worse, but it's also fun. I love playing with my friends who would like to drink and play golf because they don't get like drunk and act dumb, but they get pretty close to being drunk and they get feeling good and they just quit caring. They quit caring. They'll hit a bad shot and just turn to look at you and be like, "Man, that thing's straight down the fairway. It's gone." I'm like, "Oh, it's gone. It's about where your golf club is. You just dropped it too." So,
but I mean, priorities change, you know, and
they do.
I look at things like I can do this, and I really love doing this, and I can do this if it's raining or if it's freezing outside or if it's 10,000 degrees. Because we're in this room, you know, and it's a matter of coordinating 3 schedules at this point because it's me and a guest and then the producer, Tango over here. But
hey, Tango down, bro.
It's still, I mean, we'll be here for a couple hours tonight, you know, as opposed to 7 hours. And I got to take a day off work and, you know, all this stuff.
Yeah, that's another thing, like you said, like I kind of wish that I didn't do it so mobile before because I think it would have went better if I just not force people to come to me, but just be like, look, if you want to be on it, I'd love to talk to you, but come here.
Yeah.
You come here like you said. I didn't argue with you. You didn't fight or nothing. You just said, here's where you need to be. We're not on Broad Street anymore. And I had no problem.
Yeah.
And just to have the opportunity to be on here, which I thank you for, it's fun. I love doing this. It's also like if people want to be on it so bad, they'll make an effort.
Yeah. Well,
they'll make an effort.
And you just like what really helped us was nailing down a day. Like this is the day that we podcast on. And it used to be Monday nights, and we've been doing it Sundays here recently. But like we do that on this day. My wife knows that, and everybody understands that's what I'm doing on Sunday nights right now. We're podcasting. So that makes it easier. Now there's exceptions when, somebody's like, I can't ever do a Sunday night for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So okay, we'll get you in there on some of the day and we'll rearrange schedules and things like that. But it helps to have that day nailed down and dedicated to that thing. But then it's just on the schedule. It's regular, and then for us, we've done some mobile episodes before, and it's hard enough to move all your audio gear and get your mic set up and have the same volume and things every time. You had video. The video has not been as good for whatever reason. Like we did one at the Emperor's Stadium, and the video's terrible. And it looked fine as we were recording it, but the sun's shining in the back of the room. You can't see either one of us. And there was nothing anybody could do about it. That's just the way it was.
That's why people who have sponsors and they make millions, and they've got people who are like way overqualified to do like camera work or audio work. They're doing it for a reason because they're also getting mad paid.
That wasn't a slight against you.
No.
Not at all, dude. You have the greatest copies of video games you need, so I'm not even hating. Not even hating a single bit. I wish I could do it. Like I wanted to get into videography too a little bit to do with work with a podcast, and I had a great camera. I had a Sony, what was it called? Sony 7 or something. I don't even know what it was called, but it was like a little smaller camera, but it looked great. Shot real good. It could do 4K, but it could work in 1440 or whatever. I don't even know the terms. I'm thinking of video games right now, like, it's got 180 hertz, and but it's hard. I mean, people do photography and videography. You have to see a room and be like, okay, well, that corner's too dark, that's too light. Let me adjust everything, and then if one thing goes south, you have to be able to fix it on the fly.
Yeah. No, it just raises the degree of difficulty.
Yep.
Exponentially.
And if you can execute it, that's what puts you above everybody else.
But you see, we've got pieces of tape on that floor right there, and that's where the legs of the tripod go every single time.
No, that's cool.
It's just so much easier when you never have to pack your gear up and move it and things like that.
Yeah, and it shows you care. I mean, you want it to be the same way. You're not going to be lazy and just throw it down and be like, that works.
Yeah.
Let's just do it.
That was the whole point of coming back to this. Was it was a more controlled studio space. I could control everything, and then I don't have to be fighting against blown out white balances against the sun, which I'm willing to bet if we chose a room on the other side, but
would have been fine.
We didn't have an option.
Yeah, we were kind of stuck with that, but we're not fighting with that brick wall anymore.
Yeah, the brick wall was rough because it washed everybody out.
Yeah,
you're pale enough to where it just made you look.
I mean, brother, I only have color because I got blood pressure, brother. So that's about it. I mean, I'm pale as a ghost, dude. I am.
I was just noticing I've got some farmer's tan there. That's kind of nice.
I used to have the golfer's tan.
Yeah,
my feet were as white as that napkin. I mean, brother, and everything else was like, well, I wouldn't say everything else, but up to like I'm a shorts kind of guy. Always have been. I got them on right now. I'm rocking them. I'm a bigger dude, but I dress like I'm some kind of Finn boy. And I would have the tan start at my like short sock ankle area, go up, hit about my mid thigh, and then that was it. And then like obviously elbow down.
There.
Oh yeah, if I took my shirt off or like took my shorts off, it was obvious like where it all was at. Just golfing all the time. So I was like, well, that's gone.
Yeah, it is what it is. The sun is not our friend. But,
no. I used to get sunburned all the time. Very fair skin.
Stayed roasted.
You give me 10 minutes in a pool, try my life. You can pay me, and I'll go get in a pool right now. 10 minutes, I'm burnt. That's just. I mean, it's like burn ends. I'm gone.
Yeah,
I'm out.
Yeah. Well, speaking of burn ends, you've gotten into a new thing, so you're not podcasting necessarily anymore. Maybe not streaming so much, but you've turned over a new leaf.
Yeah. So a lot of people that know me, I love cooking. I've always been into it. I would say I'm pretty good at it. I've never heard a lot of bad, and anytime I have heard, negativity about it. Like if they say it's too salty, whatever, I fix it immediately.
Yeah.
Because me and my wife, we love hosting people. I think I love it a little bit more. Sometimes she'll just be like, whatever, that's fine. But I'm usually like, get everybody over here. Let's hang out. Let's have dinner parties. Let's cook out. And I kept seeing all these dudes that were just Traeger this, Pit Boss that, Smoker this, Grill this, Blackstone this. And then my buddy Dawson, he got a smoker recently, and he was like, dude, this thing's awesome. And I tried his first pork butt, and in my head, had always been told that barbecue is like a science, man. Like, you got to learn your own way. You got to get it down to a T. And I was thinking, this dude's pork butt's probably going to suck. And that's okay, That's okay, because everyone, especially brisket, people say, dude, it took me 5 years to learn how to make my first brisket.
Everybody thinks their brisket's great.
Oh, dude, and I'm going to tell you now, I will boldly say this is part of my reason of why I want to smoke meat now, especially in Rome, Georgia. People think they know how to cook, and they just don't. Guys, I'm just telling y'all, I love you to death. You don't know how to cook, brother. When you don't take a membrane off a rack of ribs, and it's tough because it won't render, that's not how you cook food. And I've only learned this. Because when I worked at WindShape and I was trying to be an upcoming chef, I got chewed out every single day. Part of the reason why I don't work there anymore, but it was rough. And it wasn't because they were mean people.
Yeah.
WindShape's a great organization. I'm not dogging it. But when you work in a kitchen with other guys who that is their life and their passion and they know food, you don't know anything. I learned quickly, stop thinking you know a single thing.
Yeah.
But back to my buddy, he brought this, he brought the pork butt to his parents' house. We were swimming, hanging out, drinking a few beers, and he was like, all right, man, this thing's been resting for like 7-8 hours. And I looked over and I was like, I thought I was supposed to rest for like an hour. Like, I didn't know you could rest it that long. And I said, you want me to go check the pork? It might be cold. He said, yeah, go ahead. Tell me what the temp is. And I opened that cooler, and it was like, there was just condensation everywhere. It was steaming hot, still piping hot. I was like, this thing's been sitting in a cooler wrapped for hours, and it's still the same heat it was supposed to be. And I was like, okay. He pulled the bone out like it was nothing, like it was butter. And I literally was like, oh my God, this dude might have just made his first brisket like a champ. Like, he needs to be in a competition. And the flavor was fantastic. So in my head, I'm like, and this wasn't dogging him. We haven't had a feud. He's one of my best friends. He's like a brother to me, realistically. Yeah. He's not even a friend. He's family. And I was like, this guy that just cooks because he loves it, like me, just made a pork butt almost perfect his first try, and all he did was watch a couple YouTube videos and then did his own thing. And I looked at my wife and I said, if he can do it, I know I can do it. Yeah. And so it was maybe 2 or 3 weeks later, I call him up, hey, I just got a Blackstone and a Pit Boss. Blackstone's not as important. I got a Pit Boss. And dude, my first pork butt was fantastic. Super juicy. It was flavorful.
Out of the park.
And it was good. It really was. And I was proud of it. And my second one was even better, because here's what's weird. I don't know what I did in the cooking process or what I did with the seasoning or whatever, but when it came out and I finally went to go pull the bone out, it smelled like a pepperoni pizza. It did. My buddy that was standing right beside me, he said, why does that smell like Little Caesars? And I literally was like, I was like, is something wrong? And we pulled it, and I mean, it was like bone slid right out. I was like, oh God, this is great. And I grabbed the first clump, they call it the money side or the money cut, and I grabbed it and pulled it out like it was just a football, and it just squeezed and just exploded like it was everywhere, like it was perfect, perfectly cooked. Flavor was amazing, but it just tasted Italian, and I didn't do anything. I didn't have Italian seasoning. I didn't have like anything weird. But yeah, that's my new gig. I've been posting funny videos. Like, there's one of me. I posted a bunch today, and one of them I tagged Adam Sandler in for Happy Gilmore 2, great movie. And I took a bite of the burger, and I like turned the camera, and I'm just like looking at it like this. I literally do it, and I go, and I'm just squeezing the juice out on the camera after I bit it, because, dude, I can make a burger. I know I can. I'm a big guy. I'm fat.
Yeah. I don't want to eat. I've never wanted to eat like a skinny cook's food,
No, dude. And they can cook.
Bless their hearts.
If you're a big guy, and you're a big guy because you just eat crap food, that's one thing. I'm a big guy because I like eating good food. I ain't saying I don't enjoy the occasional, ramen every now and then or something, instant ramen. But I'll tell you right now, you put some good quality food in front of me, I'm smashing 5 plates. It's gone. It's gone. But yeah, man, that's what got me into it. I love cooking food, and I was like, I know that I can do something with this, and I don't know if it's gonna go anywhere. But my first short, which I don't even know if this is good, but it's got like I think 2.8 thousand views.
That's pretty dang good.
And I just put it on Facebook, and it just took off, and it was me shirtless. So I obviously know being shirtless is one thing, and
you mess around and be like Bert Kreischer and just have to be shirtless all the time. That's just what people expect.
When y'all were posting about that stand-up comedy night that was done, a bunch of people were like, Chris, you've got to sign up. And I was like, dude, I don't know what I would even say, which I've got some great stories. And I was like, if I went, though, I know it's family friendly, but I'd have to do it shirtless. I couldn't go if I couldn't. And I was like, I will not go. And I messaged Trey and I said, just out of curiosity, you think they let me be shirtless? And I don't even remember what his answer was. But I was like, if I can go in there and just rip a shirt off and just throw it in the crowd and be like, all right, guys, so I'm Chris Holderfield, I would do it in a heartbeat.
Just tell some stories. And
I wouldn't be vulgar. I would just, tell a good story, but I would be completely just hanging out like a busted can of biscuits, man.
So what's the goal there? Are you looking to become YouTube famous and open your own restaurants? And
I mean, I have a buddy who wants me to open a food truck one day, but dude, that's the thing about the actual food industry side of it. It's so hard. I don't know if you've ever worked in it, but realistically, the food industry is one of the hardest jobs I think I've ever had. And I've worked some hard manual labor jobs, but it's not even that. It's the mental capacity of it. Trying to perfect something and do it the same way over and over. That's why I always talk so high about Chick-fil-A. They're fast food, and they have the best consistency I've ever had of fast food. It's hard not to say, do I think there's better chicken sandwiches? 100%. You can make them at home better.
Yeah.
But it's like, go to any other fast food place. I am sick of all the fast food places in our Murchie because they can't even make fries.
Yeah, I can't.
How can you not take frozen fries and make them?
Chick-fil-A is about it for me in terms of fast food. Because that's the only place you can go, and it's not the best chicken sandwich in the world, but it's good enough, and it's that way every time.
And to me, it's not even the flavor that brings me back. It's that I know what I'm going to get every time.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You know when you go in, you're going to get some kind of soggy bun with some pickles, and I'm fine with it. Love pickles.
Yeah.
And you're going to bite into that chicken, and it's going to be juicy. It's going to be seasoned enough. Sometimes it is a little better, and you know it's going to be good.
Yeah.
You go to Zaxby's, and you'll get and lately there's always a tendon. Am I the only one that eats Zaxby's and gets tendon in every single one of my chicken tenders?
I don't eat Zaxby's. It's just not my thing.
God bless y'all. God bless you. I see you, Tango. What's up?
I get their chicken sandwich if I get anything.
Hey, it's good, ain't it? It's good when it's made right.
Right. But going back to Chick-fil-A, I mean, they have, gosh, I just had the word on the tip of my tongue, but they basically get consultants in there who will tell them, hey, you're walking too many steps to grab napkins. Hey, you're doing this. And they've perfected fast food down to a science. It is a marketing machine, and it's like 30 seconds in and out, done.
So I actually, before I just got hired at my new job that I'm starting in a couple weeks, I'm about to be working at the battery plant. I worked at Chick-fil-A in the back. I know the process, and I will tell you this. The word science isn't even like justice for it. It's like you're in the military. Yeah. Like everything is done to an extent. I can't tell you how many times we'd be scooping fries, and one fry could look oddly shaped, and they'd say, "Throw the batch out, make more."
The whole batch.
If it's a whole thing of it, if they have to, and that's not because they're wasting money. It's because they're like, I would rather, and this is what people fail on. McDonald's, great, which somehow they're still the most successful, and that's because we looked this up. Argued with the guy the other day. McDonald's has 16,000 locations compared to Chick-fil-A's, I think 3 or 4.
Yeah.
1,000.
There's just more of them.
And Chick-fil-A's only in America, but that's the thing. If they had more locations, they would be the highest, in my opinion. They make, I think McDonald's makes like something so-and-so billion a year across their locations. But where people fail is quality over quantity every time. Mm-hmm. They're always wanting quantity over quality. It's just like in a warehouse, people say, well, safety is important, but if I don't get this thing done, no.
Yeah.
You can fire me before I ever break a safety rule in like a factory. I'm not doing it.
Yeah,
I want to live and go home and, do my thing with my family, especially now having a kid. And I'll tell you, in the back of Chick-fil-A, like I used to work what they call machines, and it was where they fried the chicken, and it was a fryer pressure cooker. If you didn't know that, you had to actually drop a basket, close the lid, and twist it like you were on a freaking submarine and close it. And boy, if you didn't watch it, because you're moving quick, sometimes we'd have 6, I think it was 5 or 6 of those machines and the fryers in one location. You'd have pies and chicken fillets and chicken tenders and nuggets all across that thing, and you'd go to open each one, and if you had your arm in there, you could get 3rd-degree burns in seconds. Ooh. So it was a way you had to kind of pop it open and back up, and just back up, and it is true. I mean, Chick-fil-A, I am a witness to it. I had to sit there and bread hundreds and hundreds of pieces of chicken. It was awful. I hated it. My back was killing me every time, but I know the cleanliness of the place. I know what it's like, and it's cool because now if anybody says like, "Oh, I worked there and it's not clean," it's like you must have been working at I don't know where you were working at, in Rome, Georgia, which apparently our location is like the 2nd or 3rd ever built. It's OG.
Now you were at.
I was at Truett's.
Okay.
Where the Dwarf House used to be.
You worked for Brad then.
Yep, for Brad. What a great guy.
Edwards.
And it was unfortunate because when I was working there, Sanders' father, he passed recently due to cancer, and it came back, and he was doing worse and worse, and I was kind of stressed out and trying to take care of her, and the job was great, but I left to pursue other things because once again, I thought I was going to love the food industry, and I got into it again. I was like, this ain't it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I worked in a rib shack one summer.
Oh, man.
When I was in high school, I was 15, I think, and I couldn't eat barbecue for, 2-3 years after that. I couldn't stand it. Didn't want to smell it. It just ruined it for me.
I was asked by a lot of people, what do you order the most there? Like, are you tired of Chick-fil-A yet? I ate more grilled stuff than I ever ate their fried.
Yeah.
I also ate their crispy Brussels sprouts, and they were phenomenal. I love Brussels sprouts, and they were so good.
Had their crispy
Brussels
sprouts.
They just salted them. They would throw them in the fryer, fry them up for a few seconds, take them out, put a little bit of salt. Bada bing, brother.
This is not a paid endorsement, by the way. We're not making any money from Chick-fil-A or WinShape or the
only thing I'm getting is calories, brother.
That right?
Definitely not. That's the only paid endorsement here is being overweight, which I'm fine with.
You got to admire the efficiency, and it bothered me when I was like, I'm never going back to Chick-fil-A. The first time somebody walked up to my car to take my order, I was like, bro, get away from me. This is
they got
private,
that little iPad and the
but
outfit on.
It's better. Yep. It's so much better. They shuffle you through there, and I thought, well, there's 2 lines, and somebody's going to get in front of me and get my order. They're definitely going to mess it up. They don't.
No, and it's don't. My first time working at Chick-fil-A was in Kentucky when I went to go to seminary years ago, and I was one of the main guys who they always asked to go outside because I had this like energy. I was jumping around, being goofy as heck, which is me, and that's me and everything. And that iPad, man, once you get it down, I was running through like 6-7 cars in like 5 minutes, just boom, 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 just getting orders done. And people are like, dang. And I was like, bro, I feel like I'm gaming. Like I'm just got a pro controller sitting there and it's like cooking the Chick-fil-A drive-through. But all in all, the question was about my goal with this. And I think my goal is, one, I want to be good at something, anything I do, and I want to be great at making barbecue or cooking anything. And so that's the main goal. But if it did take off anywhere or go anywhere, I would love to do it. If I was endorsed by, if I had brands that reached out and wanted to sponsor me, or if I, was able to do a YouTube channel and stay at home and work and do that, I would, just like with podcasting, just like with gaming, I would love to do that. And it's not because I'm lazy. It's just I'm one of those people, unfortunately, like some guys are like, man, I just love driving a forklift. Yeah. I'm like, that's awesome. I do not.
Just
I'm
do.
good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I would rather not. But.
And what I love doing is now I've always loved cooking. I love gaming. I love talking to people. Mm-hmm. And those 3 things, if you could just give me all that at once, that'd be a pretty wild thing to do. But
there's no rules. You can
you
can make that happen. I don't know how.
It might be the first one of its kind. I don't know anybody else.
Well, that's the thing these days, right? We can sit and have this podcast, and you and I can talk across this table, and we can record it and talk into microphones. But there's a million other people doing it, so it's about finding that thing that nobody else is doing.
Yeah, and that's what's hard, but it's also I think that's what hurt me when I tried to stream is I kept trying to do everything as the best way it could be. I was spending a lot of money trying to get the best camera and get the best audio and the best this and best that. At the end of the day, Queso, who's a very famous streamer, he's super funny, big guy. He has a crappy looking camera.
Yeah.
And he has no crazy overlays on his stream. There's no lights. There's no flashing stuff. It's just a big dude being absolutely buck wild. And he is filthy rich and does a great job.
Yeah. Well, if your audio's good, like the video is second most important.
Yeah, audio is definitely.
Your audio is key. So if you can get that down, you can do whatever you want, right? That's the consensus, at least.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta have a product to give people, so you gotta have a good content. The content kind of takes more precedent, but once you get that down, it's like, okay, well, does it sound good, or am I gonna sit here and hear crackles all day? If so, I'm turning that off. But yeah, in the case of like these guys on Twitch and things, Queso, he's just phenomenally. He found this niche and he's beloved by everybody.
He's my favorite streamer.
What's his thing? What does he do?
He's just hilarious.
Oh, okay.
He's just a big dude having fun playing video games.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he has genuine reactions to like these hilarious moments in video games or these horror moments, and he's just playing video games with people.
Yeah, he loves playing what we call AAA or like indie company, or not AAA, but like they're called indie games, and it's basically made by companies that aren't AAA, which is like the games who make Call of Duty and stuff like that. Right. They're the big. Everyone knows them. So
this is like all the underground video games that are like coming up from these tiny little developers of a 5-man team. Yep. And most of the time, they're the best of the best.
And it's also cool because at the end of the day, he's kind of like supporting local business too, because these guys are small. They're not thinking they're going to make millions. They're not ever probably going to, like COD, but they're like, I want to make a good, genuine game that's not super flashy. It's not hard to do. And Queso plays them and they just blow up. I can't tell you how many games that I bought that cost $2, and I would have never thought of it because it's a $2 game. You see it and you're like, yeah, that looks like crap. And then you see Queso play it and you're like, oh, this is pretty fun.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. I've probably bought 10 or 15 of them off Steam.
So we need to create a game then that involves, like, you got to be a podcaster, right? And you got to gather your equipment and get the
You
right
have to be able to set up your equipment.
Yeah.
And while recording your podcast, you can't let your food burn. Yeah. And you have to finish playing a level on your video game.
And then we got to get Queso to play the game, put it over the top.
Could be like Queso, and people actually do that. They've made games, like developers will come back and make a new game and they'll put Queso in the game. Like there's one where, because the big joke is, and this is what you see a lot of reels. If you go on TikTok right now and you looked up Queso, and it's spelled Caseoh. So it's not like queso like you're thinking of like the cheese, like queso. It's queso. Or they just call him Case. Most of his clips are him playing a game and people like make fat jokes. Like one of them was 3 meals down instead of 3 doors down, like stuff like that. And it's funny. It's so funny because he'll be reading them and he'll be like, all right, you're canceled, and start screaming and be like, you're banned for the stream. And he's not being for real, but he's what I love the most about him is that he's absolutely genuine. All these other guys are clip farming. They're doing this fake bullcrap drama with girls that are just OF people who go on there and just post basically like it's porn, in my opinion. And it's I don't think it's good. I think it's irresponsible. And they'll go on there and they're just like, oh, I just want to make all this drama because I know it's going to blow up, which it does. Right. And I don't blame. I mean, hey, power to you, brother. If you can make a bunch of money doing that, go right ahead. But Queso, he won. I think he won like best streamer of the year last year or something like that, or best content creator, and he didn't even think he was gonna win. Like he was streaming him watching it live, and he was like being funny, and he said, all right guys, he said, I think Jinxie or whoever it was is gonna win it, and then they said Queso, and he just froze. And then the girl, it just shows what great communities around him. She was like, all right, Queso, congratulations, you won, and so did your fridge last night. And like Queso said, how dare you? He started like screaming, and it was just funny, man. It was just it's great.
So I guess he's doing something nobody else is doing then.
He is.
I mean, you get some reaction videos, but it's not the same as just
it's
freewheeling.
Just, and you know what I've seen the most is when someone's doing something right because so many people follow behind them and copy it.
Yeah.
And it's not as good.
Kind of like what we're doing here with Rogan and people like that.
Oh yeah, what's up? Hey, what's up? What was this guy's name? Is it Jimmy or well, I don't even know what his camera guy's name is.
Jamie Vernon. Yeah.
Theo would just look over and be like, "Pull it up, Jamie."
Yeah.
Pull it up.
Pull it up, Jamie.
Pull it up, Tango.
Yeah.
Bring up that video, man.
Yeah. So what are you shooting on?
Well, lately I've just been doing my phone.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, that's it. I don't really have a camera anymore. If it were to ever take off, I might buy some more stuff, or hopefully if I got sponsored, that'd be great. But because they have all these affiliate programs with like Pit Boss and Blackstone, where you can, and like seasonings like Killer Hogs and stuff like that, where they will literally basically, it's ambassador kind of work. They send you product. You can try to sell it on the internet or use your own little code, like, hey, use code Chris or whatever it might be, and get 15% off. But they also have like real sponsorships where they pay you to just keep making content. That would be cool. But I just use my phone because I mean these phones nowadays, man, they shoot better than $2,000 cameras. I'm like, my God.
Remind me after this to ask you a phone question.
Okay.
Yeah. Not like I need help sending a message or anything. It's not.
Oh, so you're not a boomer who needs their phone
not.
fixed?
He's got his text. It's like as big as it can get on the screen. He's like squinting.
I live next door to my parents. And I get a text, I don't know, once a week or so. Hey, can you come over here for a minute? I was like, yeah, okay. And it either means I got to pick up something heavy or they need help with their phone. Yep. Like almost without fail. Every now and then it's the TV.
Dude, my mom also got it made on
sorted out.
She gets on there and she just goes wild. I'm like,
oh yeah.
I'm like, I think it's dangerous. Like, I didn't teach you. Who taught you how to use Facebook?
Oh man, I watched the Duck Dynasty episode the other day where they taught Kay how to text. She's just blowing them all up, just wearing them out.
And it's so sad that Phil died.
Oh man, yeah. There's been a bunch of them lately, a bunch of celebrities. So I don't know when this episode is going to come out. Next week probably, but it's Hulk Hogan was just a couple days ago, and Ozzy Osbourne, and Theo Huxtable, and then right before them was John MacArthur, one of my favorite pastors. Passed away.
Oh, brother, hold on. John MacArthur died?
Yeah, you didn't know? See, he didn't get the press that the celebrity guys got.
Dude, no way. I have like 4 or 5 of his books. I love John MacArthur.
He'd been in poor health. I mean, he was like 90-something years old.
Oh, yeah, he was old. Because he ran a church in California, right? Yeah, and he was one of the guys who wouldn't close his doors, and people were so mad. Yeah. They were like, close your doors, and he was like, nah.
They told him they were going to turn his power off.
Yeah, he was like, go ahead.
He was like, do it.
He was. I loved him. He's more on the reform side of like the universe of Christianity, which I am too to an extent, and I love that stuff. But he, man, he just the way he just doesn't care. Like he does care, but he's just like he's like, if I believe in the truth of the gospel, nothing will hold me from that.
Yeah,
I can't believe he died. Hey, rest in peace, brother. Enjoy paradise.
Yeah, man. He got his reward, and it he's up there with RC and all those guys now. But he obviously didn't get the press that Ozzy Osbourne and Hulk Hogan got.
Yeah, which sucks because I literally I don't know if you know who Al Mohler is, but he was the president of the college I went to.
Okay, yeah.
And
Liberty.
No, well, I went to Southern. I went to Southern Seminary of Louisville. There's 4. There's the big 4, which is the Southern in Louisiana, Southern in Kentucky. Mm-hmm. You got me there.
That's I don't remember the other 2. Who was the guy at Liberty? I'm thinking about somebody else.
Remember.
His name is.
But it was a great school, and I got to meet him a couple times. I actually hugged him once, and he did not like that, but he did anyway. So when he pulled me in, he was like, "Let's not do that again." And I laughed so hard. I was like, "No way." Because me being me, all these people were like, most of them were homeschooled and kind of dorkier like kids who were like, dude, like you did that? Like I remember one night this kid said, yeah, dude, I think one of the worst things I ever done is me and my parents got into an argument. And I was like, I'm going to burn in hell. I guess that's just chalk it up, guys. I don't even know why I'm here.
Yeah.
But it was, that's sad though, man. Yeah. Ozzy, Hulk, him. I don't know who the black actor was. I don't remember.
Malcolm Jamal Warner. Yeah. He played Bill Cosby's son on the Cosby Show way back when.
Yeah, that's right, and that's sad. I mean, and there was a bunch of others too that I saw recently that you would have never known, but they were small characters, kind of like MacArthur. Like I'm still blown away by that now. I'm like, I was just we just moved in our new apartment, and we have the shelves that are built in like beside the fireplace on each side, and my side I have like a bunch of theology, like. A book called Behind the Universe's Door, and it's about all the different like beliefs and like all the different religions and stuff. And And I had like 4 of his just lined up together, just John MacArthur, right beside Piper and those guys. And I was like, man, I haven't watched one of his sermons in so long, and now I'm like kind of sad. I'm like, dang.
You better go home and watch them all tonight.
Oh, I will. I'll be up till 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
Like, what'd you do? Game last night? No, I was watching John MacArthur, brother.
Man.
I was feeling blessed.
Yeah, him and Phil. I didn't know Phil was sick.
I didn't either. I mean, it's hard. I mean, I feel like being in his shoes, I wouldn't want people to know either, because you're already so famous that like you don't have a private life anymore.
Right. Yeah, so that was tough. But I wouldn't have put all that news out either. But he'd had, I don't know, Alzheimer's or whatever, and apparently not long. I guess he went downhill pretty quick. But I mean,
it.
Some folks get to that point though, and they understand that they have run the good race.
Yep,
and they just time for them to go.
And they just go, and it's. I know when Sanders' dad, when his cancer came back, man, he declined so fast, and it was so sad, and I hate it. And it was like, I mean, literally within like a 24-hour period, I remember she and our son went to go stay the night with him. She'd asked me like, "Do you care?" And they knew he was passing. Yeah. They knew he was on his not deathbed, but he was dying. Right. They knew that, and so. She went to go stay with him, and watching that process was pretty. I know cool is kind of a bad word, but I say cool just because, I kind of got to witness a man know that he was in his final moments, and he was like, he went from being scared to being hopeful, and it was pretty cool. Yeah, pretty cool. Not gonna lie, it was very encouraging.
I know my granddad he'd been sick and fought emphysema and a bunch of things for years, and just decided one day that he was done. And he was like, I'm done. I'm going to stop taking my medicine, and I'm going to go home because I don't want to be here anymore. And he was on oxygen and couldn't get around, and it was just terrible. And he quit taking his medicine on Tuesday, Wednesday, and then he's gone by Friday.
Well, that's what happened.
He had just decided,
With her dad, he had been on and off sick for so long, and this last time the cancer came back, it started. I think he had cancer in his intestines. They had to cut a bunch of his intestines out, reroute everything. And then he started getting septic from it because there was like scar tissue backing up his bile duct and stuff like that. It was crazy. There were so many things happening that everybody was like, why is this happening? And he fought a good fight. I mean, he went for a couple years or 3 being on and off sick. And then he started doing better, was gaining weight again, was looking good. And then randomly started throwing up and just kept throwing up. He couldn't even have like a drop of water. He would just throw it up. They found out he had cancer in his abdominal, I can't even say that word, abdominal wall. There you go. Arm actually coming out. And it was also in his bloodstream. So they figured like there's no telling where it's at. Well, then he couldn't go to he was on a PICC line, getting feeding tube, hadn't ate a solid meal in who knows how long at the time. And he finally started trying to eat again. A couple times he'd keep food down, and most of the time he couldn't. And when he went back the last time, before he found out, when he found out the bad news, which was he was, Lisa's his wife's name, my mother-in-law, and she was like, we need to go to the doctor again because you haven't went to the bathroom, like, you haven't pooped in a while, like you haven't went to the bathroom. And they find out that it's back in the intestines. And they were like, there's so much scar tissue, we can't operate. It's terminal. Like, this is it. And I remember Sandra had told me, like, she was crying, of course. She was freaking out. She was like, my dad basically told my mom today that he's going to get drained one more time of fluids and he's done. Yeah. And I was just like, she was freaking out, and I didn't really know how to encourage her, but I kind of told her, like, Sandra, just think about this. Like, the man has fought so hard to be here, and he just knows that there's no point anymore. Yeah. What are you going to do at that point?
Well, it always seems like, and I don't know the science behind it, but it seems like these people that fight it for so long, and then they go into remission, and they're good, and like you said, they've gained weight, and they look good again, they're getting around, and then it comes back, and it seems like they go downhill so fast, and I can't help but think if it's psychological. Like, he knows what he's going to have to go through to fight this again. And
you wouldn't want to do it. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I could not do it. I couldn't do it the first time.
Yeah,
I'd want to quit.
You could muster up the strength to fight and drag it out, but you know how much that sucks, and you're just like, you know what, I don't need this, And
I think in my mind, and he didn't say this, and I don't know how he felt fully, but in my mind, I think when he found out it was in his stomach again, or in his stomach and his abdominal wall, he was probably like, okay, let's fight, get it out. They took it out when they were in surgery fixing him the first time with it, because his stomach was in a knot.
Right.
And that's why he was throwing up so much. Well, they found out why it was in a knot, because he was throwing up. I guess he was throwing up so much, and what, I don't really know. I'm definitely not a doctor. But it was sad because I think when they finally decided to call hospice in, I think it was a Tuesday or a Wednesday, and I think he died that Saturday.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking, and here's what happened. The Friday she went and stayed the night with him. She said they were up all night with him. He was talking. He was lucid. He was getting to where he couldn't really walk anymore. He was super skinny. He hadn't had nutrients in forever. He had stopped eating. And the next day, I was sitting there playing my game. I had been at work. I was home. I was playing the game for a little bit, waiting to hear from her because we got one vehicle right now, and she was at their house. And I just randomly get a text, and I kind of peek at my phone, and I see it's her, and I'm like, all right, I'll pick it up in just 1 second. I finished what I was doing. It was like 2 minutes later, and I picked my phone up, and it just says, "You need to get here now." And I was like, "What do you what do you mean?" When I got there, he was in the living room. He couldn't barely breathe. He wasn't talking anymore. He was basically in his final moments, and that was very hard to witness. There was a lot of cool things I witnessed, and a lot of very like I've never witnessed someone die, which we did. We were there in his final moments up until the end, and it was just like. It was very sobering, and we also got to witness, I've never seen this before, true love fleshed out, watching his wife hold him the whole time. She wasn't crying. I mean, she was crying, but she wasn't, letting him see her broken. Like, she was trying to be as strong as possible. And I remember in the hospital when Sandra I look over and I see her blood pressure monitor, and it said 45/20. I was like, my wife's dying, like I'm about to lose her, and I just had this kid. I have no idea what to do with him. I don't even know him. He doesn't know me.
Yeah.
And I was freaking out. I was bawling. I have never cried that hard in my life. And I remember her mom just said, "Chris," and she was like, "Look at me." She was like, "You gotta chill." She was like, "You've got to be strong for my daughter right now. I know it don't seem right." She was like, "But you're going to scare her so bad that it can make things worse for her. So you just need to be strong." And I kept sitting there sobbing and weeping. I was like, I can't. Like, I don't know what to do. And watching her when he was dying, she knew as much as he did, and he was medicated, but he was there for sure. He was saying things, and he was making things out with his mouth because he couldn't really talk. And I remember she was just rubbing his face and holding him, and they were looking at each other, and they were enjoying their final moments as much as they could. And I was like, I've never seen love like that. Never. I've never in my life seen love the way that I saw it then. It made me love my wife more. I loved my son more from that moment. And I was like, even my friends, I was like, dude, when they say sickness and health, a lot of times, so many people get divorced nowadays, and they just cheat on each other, and they don't love each other. Yeah. And even me and my wife, we fight sometimes. That's with it. It comes with it. But we've fought, and we've had these issues, and just seeing them do that, it was crazy. But he went so fast. I mean, they said he was up and moving around that morning, and then within an hour or two, all of a sudden he was breathing real hard, and he was like, I can't breathe. And then it went from that to he couldn't do anything. Yeah. And I couldn't believe it. I literally texted that when I told her I was on the way, and I got my mom's car, I was like, I'm gone. I left, and I was on the way there, I was in my head, I was praying, and I was talking to myself, and I was like, there's no way, this ain't right. He was supposed to be here a lot longer. This ain't right. And we got there, and I got there at 2:30, maybe 3, and I will say, in the position he was in, laying there, and this is cool too, he was surrounded by so many people that loved him. Yeah. So many people were there, just there to love him and be like, hey, we're all going to be okay, just rest. And you could tell, he was, and probably the coolest part, other than the love I got to witness between him and his wife, was he had originally, he had said, I'm scared to go. I don't, I mean, who wouldn't be terrified of death? I mean, even with all the faith you can muster, we're human, and no humans ever died and came back, actually died and came back. Right. Besides Jesus. And we can't just talk to Jesus and say, hey, how was it? Yeah. And in the Bible, he never talked about it. You don't know what he did. For all you know, he was in paradise drinking out of a coconut, and then was like, all right, it's time to go back and show these guys holes in my hands. Or he was doing something totally different. And it went from that to, in his final breaths, he originally, he was saying it's dark, you know, and he could barely make out any words. And then he went from that to, he started telling Lisa, like, Lisa, I see pretty lights. I see pretty lights. And then she said, tell me about the lights, Jonathan. And that was it. That's how he passed. And to me, that's like chill bumps. I'm like, that's so crazy.
Well, that's hope too, because we don't want to experience, like, we can sit here at this table and go, yeah, I'm looking forward to dying, you know, or whatever. But we don't want to experience that moment, that whatever it is, whatever it is.
How many people or how many times have you yourself, or have you heard people say, I just want to die in my sleep?
Yeah.
Or I want to be shot in the head, or I want to, whatever. I just want to die instantly in a car wreck because I don't want to actually know that I'm dying.
Dale Earnhardt went out the way that any of us could ever hope to go out. You know,
dude's a champ. He's still racing right now. He's flying around the track.
Yeah, but it just, we don't want to cross that bridge. But I don't know. But that hope though that we have, that once we get there, we see those lights, and I think that, I know in that moment I would be scared because he understood that he was about to go. He had to. But to see those lights and go, well, I see this looks okay. I'm going to go ahead and go.
To me, it went from absolute fear to just warmth and peace. Like, that's what we felt. And it was almost like you could feel him leave, too. Like, whenever he passed, I didn't ask anybody else. But to me, it was like I felt this weight just leave. And I was like, that felt really strange. Like, and I'm not saying it felt like his soul passed through mine or nothing super spiritual, but it was just like,
that's a real thing.
It was like a heaviness left the room, like in a good way, not like no, like I wanted him to go, but it was like that was very peaceful. That was satisfying. Like it's such a hard way to, I mean, how do you muster words for that? No words can even explain.
Yeah, no, you can't. You can't.
But you're right. I mean, these people that have passed recently, they always say it comes in threes or whatever, but realistically,
it's been like 7 here lately, right?
I was about to say, death is on a roll, brother.
We got a couple of threes. We're working on our third 3 now.
Oh yeah, he's just. I mean, he's out here claiming celebrities, man. I'm like, I still can't believe about John MacArthur. Like, I'm broken.
Had no idea that you did not. I didn't mean to break that news to you.
No, it's cool because, like, genuinely, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Like, I'm literally going to get in my car when I leave and call my mentor, Ryan Akubo, if you know him. I'm calling Ryan and saying, did you know John MacArthur died? Because I'm depressed. Like, I'm about to just hit one of these posts on the way home and just take it out.
But yeah, it was one of those things. He was. Yeah, he had been sick off and on with one thing or another just because he was an old man. Yeah. And he drank a lot of Fresca. But he had been in the hospital and gotten out and was going to go to like ShepCon or one of those and was like, well, I'm not going to make it because I'm not quite up to it. And then he was back in the hospital again and he just, I guess he was done fighting.
I mean, if it were me, me and Sanders talked about this a few times just because of what happened with their dad, and I was like, I want to believe that I would fight as hard as I could, and I really do believe I would, especially with my son, because I mean, I know you know what a father's love is. There's nothing comparable to it. I mean, I thought I loved my wife, and then I had a boy, my son, and like the love for him is so, it doesn't diminish my love for my wife or friends or anything at all, but it's a love I will never understand without just saying, like talking to another dad, we can definitely communicate. Yeah. If I were to talk to Tango, are you a daddy? If I were talking to Tango, unless he has like a hamster or something.
A couple dogs up there.
I saw them, dude. They were beautiful. They were scaring the heck out of me when I got here. I was like, that thing is a golden retriever. Air Bud's a great movie, but that thing's going to kill me. But it's like, it's hard to talk to another person who's not a dad or a mom and be like,
you can't understand it.
You can't. And my father told me my whole life, you know why I'm saying the things I'm saying to you and getting all over your butt and definitely more colorful language, but we'll save that one for another day. But getting all over me, and I would be like, man, like I hate this or I hate him, and like in the moment. And then I had my son, and I'm like, dude,
you get it.
When he broke my headset, I was like, I could slide cancel right now and just take the kid out if I had to.
Yeah.
And I love him to death. I can't believe he just broke my headset. And then he literally walks it, like his new thing right now is I love wearing my hats backward. Like it's been a thing, especially in the summer. In the fall, it's always, I'm looking like Luke Combs, got the beard going on. During the summer, it's backwards. And the other day, he just came walking in the kitchen. I heard him waddling because he has this like, the way he kind of walks is like he bows his back and waddles, but it's like he owns the place. It's almost like he's
Conor McGregor strut.
Oh, dude, like where is everybody? He literally walks around the house like he owns everything. And I'm like, okay, bud, like, go pay the bills. Like, my Lord, just walk around like you. And he does own the place 100%. He runs the place. Right. Him and Mama. And he comes turning around the corner with one of my hats on. I've got a noggin, brother. I don't know what y'all's craniums are registering
7 5/8, man. I get it.
Bro, that is the same measurements I have on my hat.
Yeah.
And the last time I got fitted, that was back when the hat place was in the mall. Mm-hmm. And that was years ago. There's no telling. It's probably like a 15 now. There's nothing in there. I don't know what's filling it. It must be like one of those bag of chips. Those bag of chips, a bunch of air in there. Mm-hmm. And he just had my hat on, covered almost his whole head, and his eyes were barely peeking out of this part right here, the snapback. And he just looks at me and just turns around and just walks out. And I was like, dude, that's so great. And I was like, but why is he so weird? Like, this kid can't even like really talk fully yet. And he's just already just weird.
That part, when they start talking and they become more expressive in things, they do stuff, and you go, oh, that was me. That was me.
Every time, especially my wife says this, every time he farts, my wife just looks over and she's like, this kid is yours. And I'll literally look at her and I'll just hike a leg and be like, what do you mean? And she just gets so mad. She's like, I can't deal with two, y'all. I'm outnumbered. And that's why she wants a girl so bad. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, I would love a little princess. I was like, but I'm fine with one of the homies right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm cool with it.
Boys are so much fun. The girls are fun too. My daughter's a teenager though.
Yeah, that's what you posted about her the other day, I think.
Yeah, man, she's moving
and shaking out there. Is she doing? Did she do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with you?
She does. I do it with her. That's her thing. She's all in on that. She's wide open.
She's teaching you.
She's the monster.
Yeah,
she's dogging, and he's out here like, I'm just gonna watch.
I show up when I can, and I'm there. I don't know. I try to get one. I've been injured, but I try to go in there a couple times a week. But she's there like every night, getting after it, like strangling grown men twice her size.
Hey,
you know, and
power to her, man.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
She needs to know how to do it. I mean, either that or just teach her how to shoot a gun. She'll be all right.
She can do that too.
Now she's a weapon. She's John Wick.
Yeah.
She's out here about to start rolling across the ground and just randomly opening a chamber and checking and just shooting like 20 people with one clip.
But at the same time, she's a teenage girl, and it's hard.
Yeah. How old is she?
17.
Now? 17.
Yeah.
Man.
The boys are easier because you can be like, shut up, dummy. And they're like, oh, yeah, okay. And then you do that with her, and she's crying, and it's a whole different thing. She runs in her room, and your wife's just looking at you like, I'm not cooking dinner. You're like, my God. I know.
Why did I say that?
Going to Crystal. I'll see you guys later.
Oh, man, Crystal, man. She was a nice lady. I met her. No, I'm just kidding. But Crystal. I
was like, where are you going with this?
Yeah, you're just like, wait a minute. You know Crystal? Like,
I was like, who is Crystal? Have we talked about Crystal?
If you'd have said White Castle, I would have been blanked. I'd have been like, where do I go with this?
White Castle is not the same as Crystal.
It's not, dude. Man, we're about to get back on food.
I know.
My gosh, I can't help it.
Circling back around.
Yeah, man. But being a dad's great. I will tell everyone. Like, we got married, and I think we were married maybe 3 to 6 months, and then we got pregnant.
Yeah.
And it was funny because originally, all the way up until we got married, I was the one saying, let's just get it done immediately. Get it done. I want to have a baby. And then we got married, and it's not that I changed, but she was kind of like, well, why don't we, actually take some time. I'm about to yawn. Did somebody just yawn? I think that flag did. That what is that, a wolf or something? Coyote's mouth's open, man. I'm over here yawning. But she was like, you know what? I actually wouldn't mind if we just waited a little bit. And I told her, I said, all right, here's the deal. I'm not coming to you anymore about this. I won't bring it up again. The moment you're ready, you come find me and tell me, and we'll do the easy part, and we will enjoy it. Yeah, we'll enjoy it. Trust me, it's fun. And no kidding, she came to me, and I was surprised. She just walked in and she goes, I'm ovulating. Like I want to have a baby.
That changes everything.
I was like, cool. No kidding. And I'm not going to obviously go into vulgar details, but TMI, we tried our first time, and that was it. I'm talking, I know people, and God bless them, and I hope it doesn't happen to anyone else. I've had friends who've had lots of miscarriages, and they've had a lot of false pregnancies. We literally went upstairs and did the business that night, and like 2 weeks later, she was pregnant. And I know it was the one time because we didn't.
You do the math.
We didn't do the math again. We didn't do nothing again for a while. no extracurriculars. And I'm talking when she told me we had all these people about to be at our house, and I will go into another story if you want, but I can't keep my mouth shut if it's something important, like I know. And I used to be bad about like little secrets and people saying, well, here's this drama, and I would immediately go throw it out. Now I'm better about that. But if it's something exciting, every time she's ever bought me a gift for my birthday or Christmas, I get it weeks in advance. I tell her, I ain't waiting. Like, go ahead and throw it at me. I'm about to give you mine. I don't like doing this. I'm ready to go. And she comes walking down there and she goes, hey, you busy? I was like, well, I'm about to start making this dinner, which is called Frito chicken. We'll get to that in a minute. So you need the recipe. It's amazing. All right. And it's very easy. And she goes, okay, well, I'm pregnant. And I just was like, I was like, okay. And she was like, Chris, I'm pregnant. And I was like, there's no way. And she just goes walking upstairs, and I'm just sitting there like, I literally didn't move. I was just looking over the sink, and I was like, and you know that feeling I'm talking about. Yeah. I don't even know. There's not a word for it. There's so many things. Out. Oh, dude, all of them. Just like, the burp snort from grown-ups. You fart, burp, and sneeze at the same time. That's what I felt like. I was like, I'm about to die. And she comes down there and just sticks 3 or 4 pregnancy tests in my face. And she goes, I'm pregnant.
4 of them.
And it was funny because I knew she was taking them because she started feeling sick. And I said, get your butt in the car or I will go get a freaking test right now. I don't care if it's from Dollar General and it's inaccurate. Go get 20 of them.
Right.
Because at one point, even if it's inaccurate and it's not very well reviewed, at 20 of them, if 20 of them say yes, you obviously know something's up.
Yeah.
And I remember she came back down there and I was just staring at them, and all of a sudden I see headlights and all my buddies. There was like 10 people about to come over. All of them are getting out of the car with their spouses and their friends, and I'm like, oh God, what am I going to do? And she looks at me and she goes, we haven't told my parents. We haven't told your parents. Don't say a single thing.
Oh, no.
I said, okay. I said, let me go help them bring in the wood to the fire pit. And I open the door, and as soon as it closes, I go, guys, Sandra's pregnant. Don't say a word. I said, don't say a word. And they all said, wait, who's pregnant? And I was like, the neighbor, you idiot. I was like, my wife is pregnant. And I was like, Sandra's pregnant. And I said, don't say a word. They're all the same as me. They walk in the door, and one of them's Zeb Fossatelli, and he's a great guy. He walks in, he goes, and he has a lisp, and he knows I imitate him a lot, so I'll do it now. He goes, so Sandra, you're pregnant? And I literally just look at him like, you mother. I was like, my God, dude, you can't keep your mouth shut either. And it was so funny because she just like turns and she goes, yeah, we just found out. And all the girls, of course, were being cringe about it. I was like, shut up, dude. It ain't that big of a deal. It's just a baby. Like, come on. Like, y'all are acting like it's Christmas. I'm kidding. It was awesome. And all the guys were just kind of like, yeah, man. So you got her pregnant. How was it? I'm like, did you just what do you mean by how was it? Because if you mean what I think you're saying, that's just awkward. But obviously it was great.
Do you know PJ Broom?
Love PJ.
Okay.
Love PJ.
So PJ is teaching kids class, jiu-jitsu, right? One night I'm in there helping. My daughter's in there. Yep. We're all coaching these little bitty kids. And I see Kara in the back of the room. Like, it's odd that Kara's here. Karen, she shows up, but it's rare. And she's like, hey, okay. So PJ, I was like, hey, PJ, I think Kara's trying to get your attention. So middle of class, he goes back there. And he comes back, and he's got that look, that feeling that we were talking about a minute ago.
He's got that.
And he's wearing his gi, and there's a million little kids running circles around him, and he's like,
He's staring at the kids, just like having a moment, like, oh my God, one of these is coming. Like,
so he's trying to process all this while there's actual kids that are trying to, twist each other's knees off, and he's
it's such a great feeling, but man, I'll tell you, probably one of the most surreal moments, because obviously being the mom, you get to feel the baby moving around, and God forbid you get to feel all kinds of cool stuff. Maybe not the sickness and everything, but if I'm sick, I'm a man. I know that when I'm sick, I'm dying.
It's so much worse.
So much worse. Women don't get it. They don't have the same problems we do. You know, I get it. like birth is so hard. Yeah. And I remember we were driving down the road one day, and I think I was driving. No, she was driving because I had a few drinks, and we were at the golf course or something, and we're heading back to Adair's where we were living at the time, and she just goes, oh my gosh, Barkley's kicking, and I was like, yeah, whatever, and I was like looking out the window. And she was like, why do you always get so upset? I'm like, it's not that I'm upset. It's just I really want that bond. Like, I want to be able to feel them too. And she just grabs my hand and slams it on her stomach, and I felt him kick, and I just start crying. Like, I'm not even kidding. It was probably the first moment I actually really knew that, or the hearing the heartbeat for the first appointment. And I remember even hearing the heartbeat. She looked over and she's like, are you okay? And I was like, shut up. And I was like looking away because I was like, you could hear what at the time was my son. I'm like, I can hear life. Like, I know there's life inside of her, like, which also gets me so mad about all the, abortion and stuff like that. Because,
psychos.
Oh, it's horrible. And I'm like, I don't know how someone can hear this heartbeat and not just fall in love. Even my friends' kids, I love them, dude. My buddy Dawson's daughter, I am in love with that child. I love her to death. I do anything for her. My buddy Clay's daughter, and my brother's son. I can name all these people who have kids that I love, and I would die for, just like my own son. But I remember feeling that kick that first time. It was like, Chris, you have a child who will be born soon.
Yeah.
Like, soon, maybe 6 months, but
that's soon.
It's going to be the fastest soon you've ever heard of.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to fly by. And it did, man. Yeah. I remember when I forgot she was giving birth 2 weeks early, or maybe a week early. And I walked in the living room, and I didn't even notice that she had been packing. And I was like, man, we got a week. How do you feel? And she said, honey, I'm going to be induced tonight. And she said I was white as a ghost. I literally just looked up and I said, what do you mean? She said, we're going to the hospital. Like, I'm packing. Yeah, and she said, do you see what's around you? And I was like, first thing in my head was, oh, I've been playing the game. Dang. I was like, I remember that now. A new game had just came out. Shoot. But at the same time, I was like, it's like I subconsciously was shutting myself off from it because I was just so scared, which I could go for days about all this, but I remember we were going to get in the car. She said, all right, you ready? And I was just standing in the doorway. She was like, are you ready? And I said, Sandra, I can't do this. And she was like, you're not even giving birth.
It's not an option.
It was literally like in a Hollywood movie, but it's the wife. Like, they'll have the wife, and she's the one that's like, I can't do it. I can't push a baby out. I was the one acting like that. I was such a drama queen. And she's like, Chris, come on, let's go. But it was
just get in the car, dummy.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I guess I will. And we went to Gordon. Gordon was fantastic. They had just apparently redone their whole entire baby ward. And,
I didn't know they did babies center. Up there.
Dude, I'm talking, we lived like kings. Maybe not the cafeteria food, but we lived like kings. I mean, and a lot of my friends were like blown away by this, but they literally, because of what happened to her, she lost, I think, 3.5 liters of blood. Like, she almost fully bled out.
That's a lot of blood.
She was dying. She had an inverted uterus and she had a hemorrhage. It was just, dude, when I talk about this, it's so stressful. And I love talking about it just because, like, it was something crazy. They literally had to, I saw him starting to crown. And they talk about in the birth canal, there's like a little hump. And once the shoulders come over that hump, it's basically like, you just got to push a little bit more and you're done. His head was like, bounced like teetering on that hump for like 4 hours. And I kept looking down, and I was seeing at the top of his head, and I was seeing my wife pushed for, so long, and she was doing so good and hurting. We were all trying to have fun and make her laugh and giggle. And at one point I took the nurse aside and I was like, dude, this is taking I said, I know that Hollywood over exaggerates stuff. I said, but why is it that in movies this is 20 minutes? I said, this has been almost 6 hours. I was like, this is ridiculous. And they said, yeah, I think there's something wrong. Let's just find out. Well, they said, look, we don't know why we can't get them through, but we can help. So what we're going to do is, and the dude just looked at me and Sandra and he said, do y'all want to do a vacuum? Do you want to do a C-section, or do you want to do forceps? He said C-section, it could cause complications, and it's obviously cutting you open, and it's a major major surgery. And he said, otherwise, I'd go with forceps because the vacuum can be dangerous. He said, so what is it for you? She looked at me and I was like, forceps. That's what I'm hearing. Watching that man clamp down on my son's head with forceps, he put his feet on the bed and started pulling.
Yeah.
Guys.
It's intense.
In my head, I was like, if I see my son's head come snapping off, that man will be dead and I'm going to prison. That's the only thing I told myself. And Sandra literally was, while he was trying to pull our son out of her, she was looking at me and she said, calm down. And I was looking at her like, first and foremost, how are you awake? And second off, do you see what he's doing? Because I know you feel it, but do you see it? Because I'm watching. Gosh. I'm sitting here watching. You know, they're doing the whole mirror thing, like looking dumb, holding a mirror up. Like, who in the world wants that? And he was just yanking, and then he said, hold on, I have to do this right now. And then he had to cut all the like down so far to open her pelvis up more. And the whole time I'm just seeing blood and all this stuff like getting on me and on the floor. And I was like, it was like I was on Normandy Beach, World War II style.
Just watching.
And I'm just sitting there just like having like a flashback of like Vietnam or something. Like I was so in shell shock mode. Like I didn't know what to do. And man, hey guys, have a kid. It's a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful thing. It's so wonderful. I'm more than blessed, man. I mean, it's
yeah. That's the scary part though. That those moments right in the beginning. It's just I don't know. Like our last one, my wife almost bled to death. And like at one point they rolled her out of the room. Yeah. I'm holding this 2-hour-old baby. They don't do nursery anymore.
Yep.
The baby just stays with you.
Yep.
So they rolled her bed out and she was gone. And I'm just sitting in there with this dude.
Dude, that's literally what happened. They actually took him at Gordon. They took him, like you said, it wasn't, I don't remember if they called it a nursery. It was behind the nurse's station and they would hold babies if they needed help.
Yeah.
And I remember I was told to get a shower because I had fluids all over me and I was trying to help and try to hold her up and do things. And I was just like, and it was, dude, so scary. Yeah. I was like, because like you were saying, and you know, you've had more kids, but for me, it was our first. And I was just sitting there and I was thinking, this boy that I'm in love with, but like I can't even enjoy meeting him right now because I'm afraid that in about 30 minutes, I'm going to find out that I'm raising this child alone.
Yeah.
And I was like, I have no clue I don't even know we didn't know what to do. We still don't know what to do.
Yeah.
We've been parents for almost 2 years. We still don't know what to do.
Right.
And it's like, and people always say that. You're going to learn something every day. You're going to learn something next month.
You do.
And like,
you do every day.
And I was just sitting there and I was like, am I really about to do this alone? Like, is this really about to happen?
Whew. Yeah. No,
Once again, have kids, guys.
You have that train of thought. And I don't know, we're good at imagining, you know, overanalyzing and creating scenarios in our mind. And like that's why we have babies in the hospital. Not everybody does. And God bless you if you do home births and whatever.
Dude,
but like
when I see a home birth, I'm like, brother, first off, you're floating in it. And second off, you have no meds. Like there's some people who won't even take a single drop of medicine. They're like, nope.
So when our first son was born, we're at the hospital and we went in to be induced. They call you in at like 10 o'clock at night or whatever to induce you, and then they put you to bed. And in the next room, there's just chaos, just screaming. I can't see any of them, obviously, but I hear, I can't do this, you know, same kind of thing. And they're like, well, sweetheart, you're going to have to because here we are, you know. And then all of a sudden there was a moment we could tell, like, oh, the baby's here now because it just whoosh.
Yeah.
And it just went to happy all of a sudden. But I was like, and so that was me. Like, Jessica had a daughter when we got married, so she had been through all that. I had not. I was like, well, if this is how it's going to go, I'm leaving. But ours was much smoother than that the first time around. So.
Oh yeah, and that's the only thing that's kind of made me question if I want more is just because I don't know how this works in the doctor world and the baby world, but they say, hey, because your wife's uterus inverted once, she is less likely to do it again. And I stopped and I said, brother, I don't know if you know how math works. I barely do, but I do know that does not make any sense. Because to me, you know, if you snap a frame on a car and weld it back together, it has a more likely chance to snap in that same spot. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
So how is it that her uterus inverted, but it's now she's least likely to happen again? I don't know. That's just weird to me.
I don't know.
Because it's already a rare thing. It's super rare. And the crazy part is that my brother and his wife, the same thing happened. I think 3 or 4 months before we had our son, she almost died. She literally bled out, blood all over the place, had to go on emergency surgery, same thing. No kidding. And they literally, I remember when our doctor, he was this Indian guy, super, super nice guy, super cool. He took a lot of words from me and a lot of violence because I was freaking out, as anybody would, and threatening to kill people. And I threw, I'm going to kill you around probably 10 times because I was like, because in my head, I was like, what would Liam Neeson do in Taken? You know, I'm like, what would Liam do? I'll find you. And I was literally just like, looking around at people, and I was like, why are you standing here? I was like, I will kill somebody if something happens. And people are like, sir, calm down. And this one woman, she took me to the side and she said, hey, she said, number one, you're too nice a person. You're not killing anybody. I said, I know. I was like, I know. It's just like, you know, you got to say it. She was like, no, you don't. But, and I was like, okay, whatever.
Yeah,
you're not a man. You don't get it. And everyone's trying to calm me down. But man, it's wonderful. I'm like I said, I'm so blessed.
It's the best thing ever. It really is.
It is. And I do hope we have more. I mean, I would like to have a boy and then have a little girl and stop.
Yeah.
If we were to have 3, I think the third one can just be a toss up. I don't care what it is.
You're outnumbered at that point.
Yeah.
It becomes a whole different thing.
Well, Sandra's already outnumbered by a mile because we have a boy dog and we have me and then my son. So she's been done for a minute.
Yeah, bless her heart.
Yeah, but she's the strongest person I know. I mean, witnessing the stuff I have, and then like I said, witnessing her mom too, and the things she's done, it like makes sense. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
like why she's so strong. I'm like, I see Lisa, and I'm like, you're a tank. Like you're way tougher than I could ever be, and I highly respect you for that.
They're tougher than us. They just are.
Oh, they are, and we can sit here. Yeah, we might be able to do physical things better, like we might, you know, but. At the end of the day, the amount of pain that a woman can take, because while she was getting cut open and Barkley was getting pulled out of her, no one knew that her medicine had been ran out. So she had none of that medicine in her spine.
She's just toughing it out at that point.
Because I remember watching her face and she was like, you know, kind of, like making the face. And I was looking over at her and I was like, I mean, I'm sure this is uncomfortable, like, but you're not feeling it, right? Yeah, the girl goes to change her medicine out. She goes, oh, heavens, this has been empty. And I just looked up at her like, so I do need to kill somebody. Is that what you're telling me?
No killing people.
No
it's
killing
against
people.
the rules.
Guys, when you go to have a child, don't threaten people and don't kill them. Because way your child will not get there
if you can,
want it.
You just ride that part out. And it's going to be great after that.
It's so great. Because I remember being in the hospital, like, you know, she was recovering quick. And now that I look back on it and I'm not in the moment of the stress, it was scary, but once the scary part was per se over, like, yeah, she had to get a lot of blood back and things like that, a lot of blood transfusions. But, I mean, you forget how well trained those people are.
Well, we do that. I've done that. I've been to the hospital 3 times with my wife to have a baby. They do that 3 times a day. You know what I mean? Every day. It's what they do. Maybe more than that, depending on where you're
I remember
at.
we were there. There was I couldn't tell you a number or even try to guess. But there was a bunch of people having babies while we were there.
Yeah.
And we were at the hospital for a week. We had to stay a full week. And I remember, like, first off, dude, that's what I should do instead of a YouTube channel with smoking meat. I just need to be the head chef of a hospital. I mean, the food there is it might as well be one of those Stouffer's, like, Salisbury steak.
See, that's what Floyd. That's not Floyd anymore. Was it Atrium?
Yeah, it's
Advent?
Atrium.
Which one is it?
I think
Atrium's Floyd. Yeah. Anyway, their food's pretty good. I go there sometimes just to eat.
I've heard Floyd's food is amazing.
It really is. It's
Gordon's. Good. I don't know if it was just a bad week or something, but man, like they brought us. Actually, they brought these Swedish meatballs, and it was not the kind of good that's like I'm in a gourmet restaurant. It's the kind of good that's like I'm living off a TV dinner, but it's not bad.
Yeah, I'll survive.
You know what I mean?
It's
that was
sustenance.
the only meal that I liked because it was just egg noodles and these like obviously microwaved or some kind of form or fashion frozen before after it was processed and it was good. I will tell you this. Obviously, you look at me and you're like, the dude needs to eat some asparagus, and that's fine. I love vegetables. Every vegetable that was put on those plates, I was like, brother, I would rather be in a diabetic coma right now than ever touch this food again. It was horrible. And I'm such a dramatic person. Everyone that knows me will say I'm the most dramatic person, and I love to just exaggerate. I mean, seriously, it was so bad.
God. So have food brought in, Tango, if you're ever in Gordon Hospital.
You better have a DoorDash like Dash Pass.
There's an Arby's around the corner, right? A couple other things.
Yeah, we actually got Arby's. I think we had Arby's. Someone brought us Loco Rice one day.
Oh, that's nice.
A couple of times the nurses would like sneak something in there to us. Of course, the standard peanut butter cracker type thing, which, brother, I've never been more of a fan. Haven't eaten them since. So, I mean, I was a fan then, but then once I was out of the military, I was like, MREs are dead. So I'm just gonna go back to McDonald's, brother.
Oh man.
But it was great. I mean, it was hospital food. Like, what are you gonna?
I don't know. There's hospital food and school food and prison food, and they're all.
Now, I'll tell you right now. You take me back to a classic, iconic, and everybody listen. If you went to school. Praise God, I hope you did, especially in this world, my Lord. If you have one of those breakfast pizzas in the morning at school.
Oh, the French bread or whatever they were.
Bro. I mean, everyone, if you ask anyone, hey, what is your iconic food from school? Dude, my iconic food was a la carte. I got extras every day. My parents were writing checks like they were billionaires, just throwing it out. Do y'all still remember your lunch numbers from school? I don't know did y'all, I know this sounds bad, but did y'all have that? I don't know how old are you, Tango?
30.
Oh, okay, he's right around my corner.
Yeah.
I'm talking
mine
about
was
23702.
23702.
28183.
I don't know. I had my number when I was in school.
Yeah.
And then I had a different number for 13 years when I worked at school, and I don't remember either one of them. We had a card. When I was in elementary, we had a card. And we would swipe his card.
You were like working for Tesla. You were like,
we were, but you had to keep up with his card.
Yeah,
I was 7 years old.
You laminate it. It's like your Social Security card. You lose it.
This thing that they issued it. We got it first day of school. Had a little barcode and the number on it.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
Swipe it, and
I'd be one of those dorks, because everyone always had lanyards hanging out of their pocket, and they couldn't drive a car until they were 18. I was like, okay, I was one of them, so whatever. But it's like you have a use for it. You have like a huge I'd have a boat chain just hung around my neck with that card on it, because I'm like, if I ain't eating at school, brother, there's gonna be some crimes happening. Y'all better give it to me. I remember when Michelle Obama took all the snacks out of the vending machines, man, and it was like healthy. What a idiot!
It was terrible.
I will say that boldly.
I made
what an
so
idiot.
much money.
This guy
selling
ran
black
a racket.
Bro, you got to tell me right now. What were you selling? Some Little Debbie's?
We would go hit Sam's Club, and I would have every soda imaginable. Because at the time, I was driving an Expedition, so I was like, I'll load up all the snacks.
Brother, you were cooking.
We had it all.
They thought you were dealing drugs. You're like, brother, this is just surge. I don't know what the problem is.
But I was also black marketing. I was like, all right, let's start selling T-shirts. So I'd sell custom T-shirts at school too.
My dude was crushing it.
No, since day one, it was like, how can I make money?
All right, so we need to cancel you running a podcast. You need to get back into the industry of the black market. Just go to every school in Rome and just start slinging T-shirts and Debbie cakes, bro.
That's a thing. Yeah.
I had a buddy, Colton Rude, one of our good friends who passed years ago. I watched him sell a mechanical pencil. I don't know if y'all remember these, but this is probably back, like 2010 to 2012, some point, like when I was in middle school at the end of it, or maybe starting high school. You can put a quarter in a vending machine and get those baseball or sports teams mechanical pencils. Yeah. Cheap as crap.
Yeah.
He sold one for $50 to somebody. I watched it happen.
Who's paying $50 for a pencil?
First off, the kid had to be rich. Who's getting $50 in 8th grade? But,
right.
The kid literally just goes, "I'll take it." I watched him buy.
Or to have the Yankees on it or something. It was his team.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it was the Cardinals. Which who knows anything about them besides they fly? And I was like, whatever. I mean, and it's no offense to anybody that's huge baseball fans, but I'm not a huge baseball guy. So I'm like, also, why are you spending that much for baseball? And I remember he would sell tech decks for $15-$20 a pop. A tech deck.
What do those cost? That's like $4.
Bro, at the time, nowadays it might be $20, but back in the day it was like $2 or $3. You could buy a pack of them, like 4 or 5 for like $5-$6. He was selling them for $20 a pop.
Oh yeah, you gotta get into that black market racket.
Oh my god!
Start selling things.
That's what you do. Like, don't try to be a partier. Don't be a book nerd. Just be on the black market of school, man. Just sell.
Tango was not. Tango slept through class and sold Little Debbie's in the hallway.
I sold pencils too.
Yeah.
I can attest, absolutely, pencils, pens, all of it. Whatever you needed, I had it. I could locate it,
brother.
And get it for you.
Back in
I'm still that way.
He is. He comes up with all kinds of stuff.
The only time I ever did anything like that was in I'd say my worst years of some of my worst years of my life, when I was partying, being stupid. A girl and this guy showed up at a party, and I was in the middle of smoking a cigarette, and I sold it for like $25. It was a half-smoked cigarette. A half-smoked cigarette. And then they came up later when I had a Black and Mild, and they wanted to split it and dump the tobacco out and roll a blunt with it. They wanted to smoke weed out of it. And I was like, well, I was just actually going to smoke it because I like cigars. It's a Black and Mild. That's not a cigar, but...
Right.
And I remember I was about to light it up, and they said, "How much you want for it?" And I was like, $40. They just handed me a $50 and just walked off. I was like, this dude just paid me $50 for $1 Swisher Sweet, bro. I mean, people don't care. If your parents are forking you like an allowance, you don't care.
Yeah, no, if you're not earning that money, you'll give it away as fast as you can get it.
Well, I mean, even people sometimes earning it, man. Like if you have a need for something. I remember when I was really bad addicted to nicotine, and Juuls were a big thing, and everyone had them. If you were addicted to nicotine, instead of smoking cigarettes, you were ripping a vape of some kind. That's when vaping first kind of started blowing up. I couldn't tell you the amount of money I've spent on vaping, dude. And I regret. I don't smoke anything now. I'm finally dude. It was scary for a while, but I look back on it and I'm like, I'd have hundreds of dollars.
Yeah,
hundreds.
Yeah, if you had all the money,
maybe even thousands. Who knows? I mean, there's no telling. Because I mean, one of those Juuls at one point, just a Juul with a charger was like $70, and then you had to pay like $20 or $30 for a little pack of pods that were supposed to last you a week. Nah.
No, I mean, depending on how often you hit that
That's
thing,
a pot a day, brother. Those mint pods, that's a pot a day. They're gone. But
don't do the vapes, God. Kids. No.
Do not vape. Guys, listen. It's so pointless. Oh, no. Tango's getting mad over these.
Struck a chord. It is what it is.
No, but it was but it is crazy, like, what people will pay for. Like I mentioned OnlyFans earlier. Dude, I don't know anyone personally who like pays for one. But there are guys out there who spend, like Karina Kampf is a girl who was originally a friend. She's a friend of David Dobrik's, who's a big blogger, and she was a vlogger, and she was trying to stream, and she posted a picture of her like breast one day, the first time she ever did it, and she made $7.8 million off that one photo in the first like 2 weeks she posted it.
That's insane.
That's insane. Like, I'm literally sitting there thinking, like, number one, I should do that because I like $7 million. Like, my God, I could do anything in the world. But no, seriously, like, I sit there and I'm like, think about how much. And some people, I've watched other podcasts where some guys are like, do I agree with OnlyFans and do I respect it? No. Do I blame some of these women for doing it? They're like, no, because the women are being encouraged to, and they make so much money.
$7 million.
Bro, she's made millions posting. And a lot of those girls don't even post fully nude photos or videos. They just post lingerie or like bikinis. Oh, here you go. Go ahead.
Most of them now are AI. They're not even real.
Oh, yeah, that is true. And AI now, you can barely, unless you have a trained eye, you can't tell.
Yeah.
Well, that's the better part, but they hire guys to talk to you. Like, when you message these women, it's not them responding. It's some other guy in a sweaty basement sending you spicy messages back.
Bro, my basement is not sweaty. No, I'm just kidding.
This is a nice basement.
Yeah, this basement ain't sweaty. What do you mean? We're not doing that.
I don't know these things, guys. I've never been on OnlyFans.
Praise God, I have never been. Like, I'm married. I'm happily married. I haven't either. But I just know it's sad the kind of things that, and I talk like I'm some 56-year-old guy, but the things that I've seen growing up that have just progressively, like Twitch is a streaming platform, right? It used to be all about gaming, people who were nerds who had the love of the game, and now there's a channel called Just Chatting, and they also have a channel called Hot Tubs, Pools, and Bikinis. Is literally what it's called. Okay. Literally what it's called. If you want to see what the world's become, go click on any of those channels, and all you see is half-naked women sitting in their living rooms, a basement like this, with a pool, a kiddie pool for like a 6-year-old, and they sit in it and just sit there and like kiss on the camera or do ASMR, where they have these microphones that are shaped like ears, and they're like very, very sensitive, and you can touch it, like rub it like this. That's creepy. And they make millions. How does that make sense,
hey, Danny?
Bro?
Are we missing the boat, Tango? Is that what you're
There's a hot tub.
There's a hot tub at the end of the hallway.
Brother, I did a bikini stream once. I literally got in one of Sandra's bikinis when she was pregnant. I put it on. That's the funniest part.
Did you make any money? Or?
Bro, I think that night I actually did, because I know before I talked about streaming, I made some money. I think in 1 month I made like $2,800 one time.
Yeah.
Which is good.
That's not bad.
Do you know who Judd Baker is?
Yeah.
So Judd, he streamed a long time ago, and that dude made some, like, I'm not saying he was rich, but he made good money. Hey, brother, that sound like a Tetris game out there.
Turn that ringer off. Who is that?
Kipeth Buford.
Oh, I gotta call Kip. Kip called me earlier today.
I love Kip.
Kip's fantastic. Kip's been in that chair.
He's a monster now. Dude's like ripped. Like, I wrestled, so I did backyard wrestling with the RWE. We could probably extend this 12 hours if we had to, my Lord. But I remember Kip, we were doing like a 4-man like scramble type thing, like wrestling in the ring, and and it was one of Kip's debuts, and it was in his backyard. And we had just grilled out. People showed up with their own beer, sitting on the roof. It was insane. Very, very ghetto, very wild. And I remember someone grabbed Kip, and he was letting him suplex him, and Kip's knees hit me in the side of my head, and I swear, like, I thought I was having a stroke. Like, I blacked out. Like, I literally got hit so hard in the head with his body, like a rag doll, just like slammed into my body. But Kip's great. Kip, if you ever listen to this, brother, I love you, and I'm bigger than you, not muscle-wise, but I'm bigger, so I'll take it. I'm just kidding. I love you, dude.
Kip is a monster. He always has been.
Yeah, he is. He's a great guy, and I know he started doing Orange Theory, right? Mm-hmm. Is that like his new niche? Yeah.
Yeah, he's back with the fire department now.
Yeah, I saw one of his videos because he is either.
You haven't listened to that podcast. Thanks for nothing.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. No, I'm not going to even lie. I haven't, but it's he. I'm trying to remember. Is he married? Because there's so many people I try to follow on social media. He's about
to get married, and I'm positive that's what this is about because I'm supposed to officiate their ceremony.
Oh, it's going on right now. He missed it.
Since September. Yeah. Was it that today?
He's like, wait, was that today? He calls him, hey, man, I'm with Chris. We're on the pod,
we got a podcast, man.
We're talking about all kinds of influential things. I'm sorry, man.
But yeah, he called me today, and I was in the middle of 15 things, and I was like, oh, there's Kip. I'll call him back. And he texted me because I didn't call him back.
Who has been someone, I know this is kind of me asking, but who has been someone you just like? Who have you had the most like repetitive on your podcast? You've had multiple times.
My brother Drew.
I think I've listened to several of his.
So, but he's been a guest more recently, but he was just on every episode for the first, I don't know, 10, 11 episodes.
Yeah, he was like a co-host, right?
Yeah. Okay. And then he's been on 10 more times since. Chris Pyle's been on a bunch of episodes too. He's been.
I don't know if I really know Chris. I've heard a lot about him.
Yeah, Chris is a solid dude. I ran into him. Actually, he came over to the house the other day.
Was he one of the guys that did stand up?
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Yep.
Opened he was funny. Up the first show. Yeah, he's a funny dude. But yeah, he's been on 10, 15 times, probably closer to 20 actually. And then I've had a few people on twice after that, but.
I can't believe you've had so many episodes, dude. What got you into podcasting?
So when I was my senior year, actually the last week of my junior year, we had a technology class at Rome High School when I was there. This was in the first 3 or 4 years the school existed. And we had a lab, a tech lab, and there was a news room in the tech lab. Yeah. And we would do the announcements every day. And I was like helping produce the show. I ran a camera and did some other things. And then the last week of my junior year, the seniors are gone the last week of school. Oh, well, there were still announcements to be made. And they were like, hey, somebody's got to do this. You're going to do this. Hey. And I was incredibly shy. I wanted no part of being in front of the camera, doing a video that 1,000 people were going to watch. And they didn't give me a choice. They were like, just read. The words are going to come up. You don't even have to have any personality. Just read. I was like, okay. So I enjoyed it. So the next year, my senior year, that was just what I did. And we made a big production out of it, and I developed this personality, and I had a co-host, and we had a great time. And so then it took me, 6, 7 years after that. I went back to school, majored in journalism. I was going to do broadcast journalism, and I had kind of morphed into like news and sports and things, and I was freelancing for a lot of newspapers and stuff like that. So I was kind of keeping feet in both of those. But then a lot of that stuff died. The news. I have articles in the last print edition of 3 different newspapers because the print media was just dying or whatever.
And yeah, that's cool. That's something you need to have them on the wall. Do you have them?
I should find them. I don't have them, but I can dig them up. But I enjoyed doing that so much, sitting there and reading the news and having fun on camera and talking to people. Yeah. And years later, they were like, hey, there's this thing called podcasting that you can do, and you can sit down and talk to people and record it and play it later.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, let's do that. So it took me, I had the idea and decided I wanted to do it, and it was still like 2 more years before I actually sat down and recorded an episode.
Yeah, I mean, it's, I remember going to start mine up too, like, I don't know if you did what I did, but I overthought everything.
Yeah, 100%.
I wanted it to be like so perfect. Like you see Joe Rogan, the dude makes $300 million or something a year plus just on his podcast, like not even sponsors and all that. And I'm like, that's insane. But it's like you see stuff like that, and you're like, I want to do it on that level. But realistically, man, like there I go again, that coyote. Oh, sorry guys. But realistically, on that kind of level, you either got to just be filthy rich to have that kind of production, or you just got to be at the right place, right time, and have all that, have a lot of investment.
Yeah.
Or you just got to build up to it. And that's something that I think I hurt myself on with streaming and doing a podcast was I thought I had to be the best around, and I was like, I got to do perfect on everything.
I had to get over that because I thought, well, we'll do this podcast and it'll blow up. And that was what I thought. And everything had to be, and it wasn't, because I was using a Chromebook and we were talking into $14 microphones.
Hey, you got to start. Whatever. Well, that's what I did. Was I started with, I spent a pretty good bit of money. Like I said, me and those guys that invested
set
together.
Up. I mean, like you used to put some cash in that.
Yeah, I was ready. We had like a $600 interface, and we spent, I think it was $100 or $150 per mic, and they were great mics. We only had 3 because it started out as a podcast. It wasn't even mine. It was me and 2 other guys. It was the Daily Affirmation, and our only goal was to just be because if there's anything that I stand absolutely firm on, it's being encouraging to someone. Yeah. Like, words of affirmation is my love language. Even if someone doesn't care to hear encouragement, I love encouraging people, man. I just do. Yeah. Even like one day, if Barkley came to me and kind of like Jinxie or the next Queso, and he was like, "Hey, I want to be a big streamer," I'll be like, "What do you need?"
Yeah,
I'll do it with you.
Yeah,
I want to be a podcaster. I want to. There's some things I would be like, "Whoa," like hold on, but obviously, like some things, like I mean, and my parents were great parents, but I wasn't supported with those things by them, and they didn't understand it, and they didn't know a lot about it, and it's scary. Like right now, if I were to say, stop everything and do this full time, or do this full time, it's like, okay, it's a big chance. If they don't work out, where's my income? Where's my insurance? You're
rolling the dice. Yeah,
and it's scary, and it works out for some people, and some people it don't. But it's but we had great equipment, and once we just stopped, everybody started going their separate ways in life, and one of the guys was dating somebody else, and I was with Sandra. We just got engaged and all that, and I remember it was like, what do we do? And that's where it took for me to actually get in a podcast, like I did when I had you on it. That was when I think it was almost a year and a half after we stopped, and people kept coming to me, dude, like, when are you going to do another podcast? Like that episode y'all did really helped me, and like this and this. And our problem was, it was 3 guys that did have a common goal, but we just were not clicking, and we were great friends. Like, it's not like we weren't clicking because we didn't have chemistry. We just weren't clicking on so many different things, and we were just overdoing everything, sitting down and having these meetings about, here I go again, man. I promise I'm not bored at all. If I sit down too long, I'm just like, oh gosh, here it goes, and all these different things, and we just kept overdoing everything. And I did the same thing with my stream, with my podcast, and I'm like, I mean, I'll tell you the God's honest truth. I would do either one of them again right now if I knew I could do it, which is why I'm loving just using my phone, and I'm trying to be more simple, and I'm just filming me being goofy, cooking burgers and making pasta and butts, and it's fun.
Well, there's room for that, and that's still, who you are, and that's what I had to get to here was I had to decide who I was, because when I started, I wanted to talk and sound a certain way and use certain words and things like that, and it got easier when I was like, well, I'll just sit and talk to people, because I didn't always have a guest on. The first 102 or 3 episodes, most of them were just me. Drew was on for the first few, and then he moved off and got a different job, moved away, and then I'd have guests periodically, but I didn't have like a place to sit down and say, hey, come here and let's do this podcast. And so I was like, well, the heck with that, I'll just get on there and talk. And then once I got a place, I started bringing guests back on. I was like, I just got to be me and have conversations with people about who they are and what they do. People say, I ask you can come on the podcast, and they're like, well, what are we going to talk about? I said, I'm going to ask you questions that you already know the answer to. We're just going to talk about you, whatever you got going on.
Well, okay. Yeah. Well, that's what I've loved about this.
We got 10 minutes left? Okay.
Hey, sounds good. That's what I've loved about this tonight. Like, I didn't have any expectations. I've listened to a lot of your stuff, and I'm like, I'm just excited to be here. And then once I got here and we just started rolling, like with mine, I had like my pre-recorded intro, you remember, on one of my buttons, because I had all the little cool techno buttons on it. And I always thought, like, you have to have this intro, and then you got to be like, hey guys, welcome back to the podcast and this and this. And I keep forgetting that, like, at the end of the day, like he said earlier, content is what matters. All that other fancy crap and flashy lights, no one cares about. And it was fun. And I knew that because so many people said, "Hey, dude, I love the intro, but like it feels a little long, kind of drags out. Hey, dude, I think instead of saying this, just start it up." And like tonight, we just started, and I love that. I thought it was super cool, very fluid.
And we've done different things. We had an intro at one point, and like I would set the episode up, and then we'd play music, and then we'd roll in.
Yep, that's
and then
what
we
I
just
did.
decided like it's just easier to hit record.
Yeah, because you can edit in intros. Like you could have a pre-recorded intro of you talking about whether it's a sponsorship or what the last episode was, or just saying, "Hey, welcome back to the Burnham." It's still the Burnham Project, right?
Burnham Podcast, yeah.
Burnham Podcast. It was. When was it the Burnham Project?
So the Burnham Project is the overarching thing that we do, where the film projects and different things, and this is just Burnham Podcast.
Burnham Podcast. So, I love that, dude. I do.
Yeah.
And
thank you.
It's great, and I keep staring at that. Is that a hockey jersey?
It is. It is. We got the baseball behind me and there's hockey over there, and
hey, I'll tell you what.
Championship belts, all kind of fun stuff.
From Halloween, I bought the Boston Bruins jersey, like from Happy Gilmore, and I wore it watching the second movie. Oh, bro, I'm a dork. It's one of my favorite movies, but man, it's life's been laughing.
Been lifing as it does, right?
It does, man. It's a blessing. Like I've had a lot of ups and downs, but lately, especially being a dad, it's made it so much sweeter. So
it is.
I
It's
can't
awesome.
be mad about it at all. I can't. And again, guys, definitely have kids. Just be smart.
Yeah,
that's all I ask.
Just be
no
smart.
vaping. No. You can, if you want to sell snacks at school, go ahead. We got a guy, Tango, over here that can help you.
Be industrious. You got to pay the bills.
His brother Alpha and Bravo might have an idea. They'll have you going, man.
I got you. Well, man, we're gonna jump off of here.
Yeah, it was a pleasure.
I've enjoyed it. We'll do it again sometime.
100%. Love it. Love it. Anytime.
God bless you guys. We love you. See you next time.